I first heard about the brew quite a long time ago, actually. You know, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I loved it. I just had to have a go for it, you know. It's one of those old fish, those old history fish that just ain't around or ain't going to be around forever. Pingewood is, you know, it's about 15 acres in size, around 30 carp. It's quite a tricky venue. They don't come out, you know, often, if you like. You know, there's some real special rare carp in there. Had a real good spring on Pinge. It was really kind to me, actually. Caught quite a few of the fish, but yeah, the old brute sort of eluded me. June time, you know, I had a real bad algae problem. The lake wasn't right at all, so I left it alone for a few months. I came back sort of October time. To be fair, I wasn't very optimistic. The lake wasn't, you know, it was still sort of that tea stain colour, you know, and I just couldn't see anything in any of the snags, which I've been seeing in like all spring and sort of early summer. So yeah, I was quite down really, to be honest. But I got to a certain bay, which I've seen him there quite a lot, and I climbed up the tree, literally within 10 seconds. I'm pretty sure it was a fish called Pearly. She showed. She got me really excited, you know. And then sort of, like, see another one show, and as the sun was out, I could just hone in on these dark shapes sort of swimming around in that small bay. And then out of nowhere, down to my left, I see this big old fish. She just rose like, up the water, you know, like a submarine almost. And it was the one, it was the brute. To see her there, like swimming around, looking happy, you know, and she actually showed as well, like almost to say hello, like sort of thing, you know. I was so excited, I didn't really know what to do. I phoned up my mate Ben. He sort of calmed me down, do you know what I mean? And he said he'll be down later for a cup of tea and that. So I set up a couple of swims up from where I saw her for the night. Obviously Ben come down, and I chatted to him and that, and we both sort of hatched a plan. I wanted to find an area which I know they liked and they've been caught from before, and basically just start baiting that area up, which, funnily enough, like the following morning, after talking to Benny about it, a couple of fish actually showed in the area, like sort of that tails ump sort of area. So that was that then really. Like, I packed up, went round there. I had a bit of a lead around, and again the lake still wasn't quite right. You know, the whole bottom was just rancid. You know, it didn't really fill me up with much confidence, to be honest with you. But I managed to like, find a zone where it was slightly cleaner, if you like, which was in the area where they showed that morning. So I sort of plumbed about, found a couple of spots, and like put a bit of bait on those zones. So yeah, the following week couldn't come quick enough really when I could get back down there. Finally it happened, and I was driving back up to Pinge. So yeah, I got turned up quite late, I suppose, sort of 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and got straight back in the swim. Everything just went so smoothly. For some reason, it never really happens that smoothly, to be fair. But you know, fresh rigs, clipped up, like the drops were perfect. They've definitely been feeding on it. Just went down a lot firmer, a lot harder than the week before. So then I put a bit more bait out, not as much, just a little bit, just like a little top up basically. And as I was doing that, one actually showed down to my left, like, and the excitement sort of it came in, and knowing there's at least one carp in the area. Went to bed that night quite sort of optimistic. I drifted off. Yeah, and then I was rudely awoken by my left-hand buzzer. So bob and pulled right up tight, and to be fair, I couldn't really believe I was attached to a carp. It was a lovely common, which I had the pleasure of catching like twice before throughout the year. But I was, you know, really happy and buzzing that it was, you know, the spot was working. You know, sure it's going to happen. Wrapped it up, cast it back out onto the spot. Again, went to bed. You know, I mean, it was a real cold night that night, like frost on the ground. You know, it was really, really cold. sort of snuggled back up into bed sort of thing. And again, the same rod was away, you know, a few hours later, sort of about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, shivering though, it was that cold, I was shivering while we was playing the fish. And to be fair, I put up a bit of a scrap, but eventually I managed to land it, and it was yeah, another one of the Pingewood's jewels, one of the original mirrors called 2 scales. Really happy to have like another new one under my belt. Cast it back out, dropped on the spot. As I'd done that, my middle rods had a bit of a twitchy take, like not a take, like a funny sort of liner. Like it was a liner, but it weren't. To be honest with you, I thought I got done by a fish, and I was going to reel it in, but I didn't in the end. I thought, nah, I leave it. It's just, you know, when I cast it out that evening before, it really went down lovely. So I left it anyway. It was just starting to get light when I woke up to a bite on my middle rod, the one that I was thinking of reeling in. Straight away, it's kited left, and then it just rucked. Absolutely went mad. It wasn't a happy carp at all. Like, I really had to clamp down on it at one point. I thought, I can't give it no more. You know, I did turn it in the end, sort of came in front of me, and then it went to my right, and just wouldn't give up, you know. Anyway, I managed to get it up in front of me, and it sort of, its head sort of poked out of the water, as they do, you know, when they just all of a sudden they come up. I thought, oh my God, it's a chunk, you know. But again, I thought it was like pearly or pecks or something, and you know, at that point I was sort of shaking. Netted the fish, brought it back, peered right into my mesh, and really for a second I couldn't really quite believe it, you know. It was just this crusty old back, like it was just there, it was in my net, at the bottom of my net, and I've done it. I sort of, it was the brute, you know, and oh man, that feeling just, you can't describe it, you know, to see that fish so many times in the water from up trees and that, and then looking at that same back bits in my net, it was amazing, awesome.